G'day, g'day, welcome. Guys, we are back with episode 3. This episode's going to be talking about leveling, my efficient way of leveling, especially in retail WoW right now. As you guys can see, I've been pretty busy, level 61 now. Pretty sick. But yeah, this episode will be blocked into two parts. So we're going to talk about leveling and then we're going to go into the talent tree. We're not going to go super into the talent tree, but I'm going to give you guys some ideas, some things you didn't know, and we'll just go through it as basically as possible. So first things first, you guys can obviously see we've got a lot more spells. So right now I'm going to put up a couple of screenshots and I'll just talk about the different spells that we have. Just very briefly, nothing crazy, obviously. So I'll put that up now. Alrighty, so as you can see, guys, first spell or new spell is Effluence, which is an AoE healing spell. So if you're going to go up in a group, you try and throw this down as much as possible as the first spell. So you hit a group, chuck this on the ground wherever the fighting is going to be happening, and then obviously then you'll want to click number 3, Wild Growth, and then 4 being Rejuvenation. Pretty much the same order as the last video, guys. I'm just going to show you the new ones. So this is one of the new ones we got. This is very, very handy. It does tie in with a lot of the other base spells when you start putting talents in. Very, very good. I tend to have it up here. You guys can have it wherever you would like. I like putting it up here because it just reminds me to click that one first, and then we can come down to the next spell. So the next spell we picked up is Nature's Swiftness. Very, very good. So the talent tree that we have, you get 2 charges. So with this charge, as you can see, you click it, it makes any one of your next spells pretty much instant. Regrowth, Rebirth, Entangling Roots, 3 of the main spells that you'll probably be using. Rebirth allows you to resurrect a friendly during combat, which is in the top right of our bar. So you click this, click Rebirth, and it'll be an instant cast, which is fantastic. I pair this with number 2, which is Regrowth, direct heal. Very, very good, because if someone's taking massive damage, you can click 1, 2 really quickly on your keyboard. So you can get that massive heal in nice and quick. I love it. It's very handy. Next spell that we have, Grove Guardians. We get 3 charges. It's a very quick recharge. It's only 20 seconds. So if someone's taking damage, just spam this as much as possible, guys. With the talent tree that we have on this build, very, very good. It heals pretty much everyone. Every time you click this button, it'll cast spells on everyone. Overtime spells, it'll do a couple of direct heals. Then they'll stay around and they'll automatically heal the person with the lowest health. Very, very handy. Low recharge, so it's an awesome spell to have. Next spell that we have, Tranquility. I like this spell, very, very good. It's a channeled spell. So with the build that we have currently at level 60, you can't run around. So this spell you would click as an oh shit spell. So if everybody starts taking massive damage, click this spell. As long as you're within 45 yards, which is gives you a pretty good distance, it'll start healing everyone. And most of the time, unless everybody's getting nuked, this spell will bring everyone back up to full heals. So you have to sit there and cast it and channel it. You can't run around with the spell. Quite a big cooldown. This can be changed in the talent tree. I like it more as a oh shit spell than a spell you use more often. Next spell we have Convoke the Spirits. This is definitely my version of an oh shit spell. This spell, essentially, you can cast it, you click it, and then you can run around the battlefield as much as you want. This spell will cast, if you guys can read it, it will cast literally pretty much every spell you have. It'll cast Wild Growth, Smithwen, Moonfire. It will cast offensive spells, defensive spells, pretty much on anyone nearby. So if you're getting trouble, everyone's getting smashed, you've tried the Tranquility, smash that, hit that spell, and then you can run around so you can avoid lots of AoE during boss fights. Very good for rage. You just click that and it will just literally heal as many people as humanly possible. Which this can also be changed in the talent trees. I like it how it is, but I said we're only at level 60, so we have plenty more points to put into our talent tree as we go further along. This is just giving you guys an idea at level 60, showing you the new spells. Alrighty, so these are my oh shit spells. essentially, guys. So I like having my 1 there, like I said, 1, 2, very easy to use. Number 7, which I mentioned in the last video, that is our shielding spell. So it's about a 2-minute cooldown. If someone's taking damage, bang, just put the shield on them. It'll increase the healing on them and reduce the damage taken by the person who has this on. I've just blanked these other ones out just so you guys don't get super confused. And obviously on the far right here, you can see Grove Guardians, Tranquility, and Convoke the Spirits. I have my spells in that corner for a reason. It just, personally, that's where I like to have them. It's much, much easier. Here are what I would call boosting spells. So anything that you can cast that'll boost your attack, your strength, anything that'll help you boost your stats, or even heal you, or make you take less damage. So we've got our Iron Skin in the middle. With the spell on the right-hand side is just purely a healing spell. It just instantly heals us for like 30% of our health. And the one on the left, if we click that, we can essentially use none of our mana resource for the next 10 seconds. Everything's free for the next 10 seconds. So very good for obviously if you're getting low and you're raiding. I didn't go through these spells because depending how you guys do this build, you may not have these spells. But they're very good. I sort of have all my spells in that corner for that reason. It's just preference. So the next one, this will give you a little bit more of an idea, guys. So at the bottom, we've got our normal healing spells. This is where I keep all my normal healing spells. This is where I like to put them. On the far left here, you can see interrupt and cure spells. So anything that's going to cure poison, disease, magic, I tend to have up here. I don't have it on the action bar. It gets pretty crowded. We've obviously got a Enrage, which is the second one. That will soothe an enraged target. So if they're raging out, doing massive damage, you can punch that and that will calm them down and reduce their damage. The second one is just a little interrupt spell. You cast that as an AoE and it'll interrupt most attacks wherever you place it on the ground. I didn't need to go through it. It's pretty self-explanatory, and these very highly depend on how you guys do your build, but this is where I would put my interrupt and cure spells. On a far right, you can see we've got the boost spells. That's anything, like I was saying, any trinkets you have, anything that boosts your spells, anything for you that can heal you personally. You just put up on top there. That's where I like them. You can click them quite easily. And then obviously we've got our oh shit spells in that right-hand corner. That's where I like to have them. But obviously, I showed you previously, I have 1 and 7 in the bar. That's just how I like it. I like them having them there. It's very, very easy to use and very quick if something goes wrong. Especially when you're doing higher level raids, it can become very, very hard. But I hope that makes sense, guys. We'll continue on. Alrighty, so I hope that makes sense, guys. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I'm just trying to make it, you can put these spells in whatever order that you prefer. This is just the order that I prefer, that I find is the most easiest, especially while you're learning, doing those dungeons and doing the raids. As you guys can see over here as well, I do have a bunch of random spells. So here we got our mounts. These are just random attack spells, nothing crazy. I just put them there in case I, feel like doing a little cheeky damage every now and then. And then up here are revive spells, which is obviously pretty self-explanatory. Rebirth, which obviously I talked about in the screenshot, is a resurrect spell. You can bring one of your dead party members back to life in combat. So very, very handy, especially when paired with number 1, which is that nature swiftness I was talking about. So it's pretty cool. It's really, really handy to have, especially in raids or even mythics, where you can't just reset. You got to reset the boss. Very, very handy. So we're going to dive into leveling. So leveling this character, all I have been doing is doing dungeons. So I go over here to Group Finder, Healer, and obviously we can't do these dungeons yet because we're too low. But I've just been doing Dragonflight, random dungeon, and you guys can see this XP is what you get every time you finish a dungeon. So you go down here, and that's 58,000 if you guys can't read that. So it's almost pretty much 1-for-1 leveling. You do one dungeon, you go up a level. I've had some dungeons where I've gone up 2 or 3 levels. It really depends on the group you're with, if you smash through it, and obviously your XP rate. So with the heirloom items that I've mentioned in episode 1, I got rid of all those heirloom items when we left Tutorial Island. So they are very good, but you have to upgrade them. You've got to spend the time on your other characters to buy them. with different sort of currencies like time walking currency. With time walking, essentially, basic version is when WoW will put in an event here in the calendar. Time walking. Time walking is, you guys can go and redo dungeons from a previous expansion. So they could do Lich King time walking. So all the dungeons are from Lich King, and then they also have items that you can buy using these time walking badges that you get from doing the dungeons. That's pretty much the basics. So heirloom items are good. I really only use them for Tutorial Island, because if you're playing a support class, tank or healer, it is absolutely crazy how fast you guys can get a dungeon. So I'll just put a quick screenshot up here now. Like, look at that, guys. Look how fast it was queuing. Even on the worst day where no one was really on, I was still getting groups within 2 or 3 minutes, which is crazy. I'm obviously playing on a Oceanic server, so it may differ, but most of the time, guys, if you're a healer or a tank, you're going to get groups straight away. If you're DPS and you're trying to do the same thing, your queues are going to be massive. You're going to be waiting almost 20-15 minutes sometimes for groups, because it's just, you've got so many DPS that are trying to get groups. So that's where questing would be very, very handy with you guys, or you do a bit of both. But all I've been doing is doing dungeon after dungeon after dungeon. So it's good practice. It gets you very, very used to running dungeons. By the time you get up to doing raids, you'll be so used to the dungeon mechanics, the boss mechanics, that you'll be quite good at it by then. So I like to do it. That's how I've been doing it pretty much. And I'll show you guys down here. So I'll go for a played. Go into general. So 12 hours, 6 minutes. I'm level 61. So, I mean, realistically, another couple of hours, I'll probably be very close to being max level. 12 hours, if you take, probably take 3 or even 4 hours off that, filming and doing clips and just standing idle, that's still pretty good. That's very, very quick to get almost up to max level. That is absolutely insane. And that's without heirloom. We use the heirloom on the tutorial islands. You don't have to. It's only good if you fully upgrade it, which obviously you got to spend the time doing it on another character. So hope that made sense, guys. Trying to keep it basic. Now we'll go into the talent tree. So here are my talents that I currently have. So this one is, I was looking at doing a mythic build, but then I thought, you know what, let's do a raid build. It's very versatile. The mechanics are very simple, especially when you're learning. So these are my current talents that I have. If you go down in the top bottom left here, so this is my build that I've made. Okay, if you guys aren't sure, or you're brand new to the game, you can just click starter build. You can just go starter build, and WoW will choose talents for you for if you're learning, essentially. So it gave us a couple other spells there. We unlearned a bunch of stuff. So it's very, very simple. This is just a starter build, just to get you into the mechanics, obviously, and we can go to and from as much as we want. It's very, very handy. And if you're not sure, you're like, oh, I want to get into more raids or doing mythics or doing different sort of content, different play styles. If you guys go to Wowhead, which is essentially a Wikipedia for WoW, I'll put the link in the description for you guys. So if you click on that, you can type in, I want to, Wowhead DPS build, current expansion or current patch, current, whatever the current update is. You can go on there, guys. It will tell you, I'll put up a photo right now. So if you look at this, you can literally see you've got copy and paste. You can literally copy the whole talent tree from max level, come into here, go import, copy and paste what you've just copied on the website, and then obviously call it whatever you want to call it. If you do that, that will literally paste every single talent, every single point that you could possibly need in that talent tree that you've copied. It's amazing. It makes things so easy. And that's just the recommended build for that current expansion. It's always being updated, guys. And on top of that, with their builds they have, if you guys want to, they even tell you the rotation. And what I mean by that is what order they think you should be doing your spells to have maximum efficiency in healing. So if you're unsure, I feel like I'm not doing enough, I feel like I could be doing something a little bit more, if you can click on that and your build's very similar, it doesn't have to be the same. If it's very similar, then you can start seeing what order you should be doing your spells and when. It's very, very handy. It can become quite, there is a lot to read sometimes, but if you guys are unsure, you know, it's a great way just to get your foot in the door to running mythics, because mythics are pretty insane, pretty intense. Depends massively on the group that you get. Sometimes you can get a very, very good group and you'll just get carried the whole way through. Being healer, it's a little bit more difficult to get carried through, because obviously if you're not healing correctly, everyone dies and then you have to reset and people will be annoyed. But that's what we're here, guys. We're here to learn. We're here to try things out. You can do a couple of nice low-level mythics, get the hang of it, and then slowly build up your gear as you go. So these are the talents we're going to be using. I think they're pretty good. I think they're very starter build vibes. Alrighty, so with the leveling, guys, so you can see we're out the front of Orgrimmar. So I'll show you with the leveling. If you were to do dungeons or you want to do a little bit of questing, if you go all the way over here to the Orgrimmar embassy, so I'll get the map up. So this is right in the courtyard. We're just over here. You can see Chromie. Now Chromie is time walking. So this is what I'm talking about. So you click on Chromie.
It's so nice to see you.
We can select the timeline. So Dragonfly recommended, because obviously that was the previous expansion. Shadowlands, Battle for Azeroth, Wilds of Pandaria, Draenor, Legion Invasion, Cataclysm, Fall of the Lich King, my favourite. Portal Outland, awesome. So what that means is you can click any one of these and it will teleport you back, change the world around you. Like if I click on Lich King, it'll take me back to where Lich King was the only expansion. So you can do the whole campaign of Lich King from start to finish, do all the dungeons if people are obviously on doing them with you. So you can just experience the whole campaign for yourself whilst leveling. So everything gets scaled down to your current level. So you could play the whole Lich King campaign and get up to max level, if that's what you wanted to do, especially DPSing. This is a really fun way of grinding through it. But for me personally, if you're a healer or a tank, I love doing the group finder. You just can't beat it. The XP is just absolutely insane in retail WoW. It's absolutely crazy. So I hope that makes sense, guys. I also thought I'd quickly show you guys. This is the tree form. Used to be very, very OP back in, like, you know, the old schools. But now it's just that they have brought it back, so you can be this form and shapeshift into it whenever you want. You can cast spells from it. It doesn't give you any buffs. It's purely just like a cosmetic. So if you're level 60 by now, guys, you would have a little teleport called Teleport to Moonglade. So if you click that, you come in here, you go into the inn where this food and drink guy is, go down and talk to this lady trade supplies. She will have a bunch of druids specific spells. She'll have a few little cool little toy items you can add to your toy chest. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I mean, if you guys have been playing WoW for a long time, you remember the Tree of Life used to be the OG form of WoW. Awesome, awesome.
Stars guide you.
But obviously they got rid of it, so now it's just like a purely cosmetic. I'm pretty sure it's still a cosmetic form. I'm not too sure if it actually does anything, but it's very cool. It's a very, very cool form. So I just thought I'd quickly show you that, guys, in case you didn't know where it was. We'll leave the video there. If you guys have enjoyed it, you find it interesting, let me know in the comments, guys. If you've got any questions or you want me to do maybe a DPS series or a tank series, just let me know. Always read the comments. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Next episode, I'll probably level up to level 70 and we'll do a raid. We'll do a raid together and I'll just try and talk through that as best I can and just try and make it really easy for you guys to do. Easy. Okay, bye.